Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. So in my last video, I've talked about the current state of TF2 and how miserable it is. This video serves as a follow-up to it, and I'll be actually talking about any argument that I found on the internet, in particular that goes against Quickplay, and I'll be responding to it. So if you haven't watched my latest video, I highly recommend that you do, because this is a follow-up video to it. I'll leave a link for it in the description. And with that being said, let's jump right into it, shall we? Casual mode makes it easier to queue up with friends. While that is true, you can queue with up to 6 people with the current system, but joining your friends wasn't really that big of a chore back then, since you could always join their game through Steam, and you can even switch teams, as you will. But I want you to keep that in mind, that the more players you have on your party, the more annoying and hard it becomes to find a decent match. That's because, for whatever reason, the casual matchmaking system reserves a slot for other people before they even join. And that means it's less likely for you that you will be put on the server filled with players on both teams, or worse yet, you're gonna be put in on a server that people most likely rage quit it or left because they don't want to steamroll. So yes, expect a lot of these type of things when you have a party of 3 or more. And I'm happy to trade like the few good things we have over to Quickplay, as you will see how with all the good things going for the current matchmaking system, it still really flops compared to Quickplay in a lot of these aspects. And now on to the next point, which is casual mode allow you to select the maps that you want to play on. While casual modes do really let you select every map you want to play, this is a valid point, and one of the few things that's good about the casual mode. It's true that Quickplay isn't map specific. However, because of the ever-growing map list, this function will be worse over time. I mean, do you guys remember the Scream Fortress 2024 and how painful it is to search for a specific map because you want to do the Halloween contract on? Yes, the recent Scream Fortress has addressed this issue by making a change to the contract progression and allow you to select any contract you will. But even then, it's still not a permanent issue, as this problem will continue to go on and on and on as more maps being added to the game. And if your counter argument to this is, well, just play casual, bro. Well, after the removal of Quickplay, a lot of these community servers that used to be casual died. You'll find servers hosted by either YouTubers or big community servers that still operate to this day. But I feel like we shouldn't avoid the issue and instead solve it. Not to mention that server browser is very outdated, and by that I mean, if you aren't familiar with it, you will suffer. You will suffer trying to find a casual a vanilla server that has a good player base, that is not modded, filled with stuff like RTDs, or filled with ads, or maybe not in your region. And I'm really taking free-to-play and new players in mind, because if the game is already hard for new people to get into, let alone having them learn all this stuff just to find the server. There has to be an easy way for these new players to get into games and start playing instantly, because these people are the foundation of the game, and if we stop getting new players, then the game will eventually die. And this rule goes for any sort of multiplayer game. Casual have XP and level progression. Although this is not a big argument as the rest, but honestly I could care less for a rank or a tier that does really nothing, and I doubt that most people will miss it, especially when it really gives you nothing honestly in return. No item, no achievements, nothing but just a number of your game. Sure, it just gives you a sense of progression, but honestly, would you rather have this system, or would you rather having a playable casual matchmaking instead? And now to one of my favorite arguments, that you must really hate TF2 and you want it to die. And to that I say, cope, see then mold. There's nothing wrong with pointing out flaws in something that you like, and I'm kind of tired of seeing this argument everywhere that's supposed to shut up people, because it's an argument that doesn't even provide any solution or a helpful take, you know. That goes the same for other people that say, well, if you don't like TF2, then go play Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. First off, Overwatch and Marvel Rivals are nothing like TF2. Sure, they're a little bit similar, they have the same mechanic, they're similar to TF2 in some way, they have heroes, classes, whatever you call it. But believe me, I tried them, and these games are built for a competitive audience in mind, and not casual, you know. And they are really not comparable to TF2, which is a decade-old game at this point, running on a very outdated engine, you know, has a lot of disadvantages compared to these new games, you know. Compares to the optimization, the way the other games run, we can't really compare TF2 with these kind of games. And the biggest proof to my point is, remember guys when Overwatch was released, and the majority of people that left TF2 were mostly competitive players, and I don't blame them, because TF2 has little to no competitive scene, and it shows no promise for it in the future either. Speaking of which, it's an old game and you should be satisfied and happy that Valve banned the bots. No. Just because it's an old game doesn't mean it should be abandoned. I mean, Minecraft is an old game. Should that be abandoned too? No, absolutely not. I'm not satisfied at all with the state of TF2 and will always continue to speak out on its issue because it's generally unplayable. And as long as they are milking the game and adding all new loot box, cases, they should at least make the game playable. That's the least they can do. And keep updating it, because even after all these years, the game still runs like crap. You can't get a stable FPS on some maps, you know. And you need to install a bunch of configs and tune the game setting for like 5 minutes before you can even play. And this is not acceptable, dude. This is not acceptable in this time and day, you know. And you shouldn't be kissing Valve's butt for every minor update they add. Like it's the Jesus returning, dude. You got to have standards and self-respect to not spend money on a product that isn't working, especially when the company responsible for TF2 is Valve. They have all the resource, all the people they can hire, all the money in the world to fix the game in a flash. I mean, remember guys when the Great Depression happened and the economy of TF2 was online? Remember how fast the Twitter account of TF2 woke up when that happened? It really shows what their true motive is. It's always money, you know, and this goes for every corporation, you know. It's not just only Valve. It could be Blizzard, EA, it could be any corporation. If you want them to listen, then speak with your wallet. In short, I believe the current casual system is very flawed and downright unplayable compared to the Quickplay. And I honestly cannot think of any argument that truly harms Quickplay and make it inferior to the casual mode we have. And for every game, like TF2, it has to have an easy way for people to jump in and start playing immediately, you know. We have such a short attention span, you know, thanks to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all this garbage that we've been fed constantly, you know. And if people can't find a match and start playing instantly, you know, the chances are they'll just abandon the game and find something else to do. And that's really bad news for TF2 or any other multiplayer game in general, because any games rely on these new players to stay alive. And we all know that old players, one day they will stop playing TF2 for their own personal reason, you know. We can't expect these guys to live in TF2 for the rest of their life, you know. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm looking forward to reading your comments and arguments that you can think of. Please, for the love of God, do not stop talking about TF2. We have to make our move. We have to do something. We can't really stand here and wait for the big YouTubers to step in, you know. You gotta have a mind of your own, whether it's in TF2 situation or in life in general. And you can't really rely on everyone. And honestly, TF2 needs all the help they can get right now. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.